One of the most hilarious takeaways from this mentally defunct nonsense is the fact that PokeTips hasn't even touched his channel in nearly a year. And that was right after he completely broke Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which at the time was a remedial task that anyone could pull off. So ladies and gents, did PokeTips steal anything? Is it really that simple to steal information over the internet, let alone YouTube, that isn't exclusive and or copyrighted? After all, you can just copyright strike someone's content if you feel it infringes on yours in any way. I'm saying that because if anyone stole anything here, where are those copyright strikes? Why hasn't this been taken to court? Yeah, it's about as mentally retarded as pretending that you have full reigns over a child's video game. Almighty here did put out the guide in question on November 17th, 2018. There it is right there. PokeTips uploaded his guide a day later. This guide right here. So is that it? Has the one above all of the Pokemon community finally been caught telling the truth? Of fucking course not. Because claiming you're honest and all about the facts is simply something a liar would say. Also, something will be said that completely contradicts either person claiming someone stole something from them. PokeTips is actually referring to a certain other video a certain someone made because it's a nearly decade-old tactic that they pull, i.e. manufacturing drama to get those desperate clicks.
Fact, my shiny hunting video came out on Sunday, November 18th. His shiny hunting video, this garbage mess, came out on Saturday, November 24th.
Do you see that, ladies and gents? This doesn't look like the exact same thing. PokeTips is accusing Mr. Almighty here of stealing. Why doesn't Mr. Honesty and Facts tell you that? Yeah, sure, he proves that he put his guide out before PokeTips, but Mr. Honesty and Facts does not tell you that PokeTips is referring to this character assassinating shitpost, quote unquote, calling out PokeTips among other PokeTubers about how they're
playing a child's video game the wrong way.
And he classically puts that little character assassinating spin on it when he villainizes them by saying that they only care about your clicks and they're lying to you on purpose. Hello pot, I'm Kettle. Yeah, I know I'm being very creative with Mr. Honesty and Facts here, so I'll just go with that. Yeah, why doesn't Mr. Honesty and Facts talk about this quote unquote clapback that he does every single time he needs to desperately scrape for those views? And it doesn't help his case that he not only disabled the ratings, they looked something like this prior to Mr. Honesty and Facts here hiding them.
Also, I always kind of find it funny how Verlisify tries to call people out but hides the likes and dislikes on his videos, which is the most sketchy thing you can possibly do. If I was telling the truth, why would I hide the likes and dislikes? He tries to manipulate his audience into thinking that he has robots that dislike all of his videos, and maybe he does have some robots that dislike his videos, but he has a lot of people that are subscribed to him for the sole reason to dislike his videos because he starts drama with everybody in the Pokemon community.
My thoughts exactly. And it also doesn't help that when he is bombarded with the exact same hate, negativity, and toxicity he projects on the Pokemon community, his bitch ass ends up turning off the comments as well. Honesty and Facts. So far, Mr. Honesty and Facts only has proven that he put out his guide before PokeTips. Now about this stealing stuff. As I said before, something interesting was said here by none other than Mr. Honesty and Facts that completely contradicts this allegation for either individual for that matter.
So he says I stole his shiny hunting method by flying on a Pokemon to reset the Pokemon spawns between a route.
And don't forget how you proved that you watched my video, you said the same things that I said word for word, you used the same method that I use and presented it like it was your brand new information. And after I made my video exposing him, he dug himself even deeper into a hole by going on Twitter and saying it was fair use.
I tested every method of spawning Pokemon in the game, and even if I didn't, PokeTips still wouldn't have a claim because he doesn't own a game mechanic of flying on a Pokemon. Because he doesn't own a game mechanic.
Who stole anything if no one owns a game mechanic? This nearly 4-year-old back and forth that's still going on only in Mr. Honesty and Facts' demented head is once again immediately debunked courtesy of Mr. Honesty and Facts.
Wayne, you stole from me. Wayne, you stole from me.
How can you steal something that isn't exclusive information, copyrighted information, and or a game mechanic no one owns? So what is this about? I'll tell you. It's about him killing his dead platform. It's all about the views and the attention every other PokeTuber gets. It's something that still affects him to this day. He is butthurt because he killed his own channel. He lost millions of views. He lost over 100,000 subs. PokeTips put out a guide that not only did well, but his channel is naturally the antithesis of Mr. Honesty and Facts' dead platform. And the same thing applies to every other PokeTuber out there. Think about it, ladies and gents. It's been nearly 4 fucking years. Mr. Honesty and Facts can't even gain 40,000 more subscribers in that amount of time. But he'll swear up and down delusionally because he lives in his own delicate little world that he is the best PokeTuber in the Pokemon community. That's struggling to stay afloat when he hasn't even gained 40,000 more subscribers in nearly 4 years, constantly tanks every day, whether he's manufacturing drama or not, in views, while he classically manages ratings to his chagrin. I'm guessing that's the work of those imaginary dislike bots. And since Mr. Honesty and Facts loves to groom his NPCs with his manipulative bullshit, they never have an answer for these types of things that he pulls, but yet he has no problem trying to act like he does no wrong when he unironically character assassinates everyone else for clicks.
Ever since I put out my video, Verlisify has not been able to get me out of his head. He first made a response video almost immediately after I put out my video, but he deleted it only an hour after he published it on YouTube. And then after that, he's been making aggressive comments about me on Twitter, on his YouTube community tab, and recently, after about a month and a half of him trying to figure out a way that he could try to say something about me, he uploaded a video filled with complete slander saying that I stole his content. Kind of funny, don't you think, that I made a video about him stealing my content and now his clap back at me is saying that I stole his?
I'm guessing the dislike bots had something else to do with it, PokeTips. And if he can go this fucking maniacal over someone who hasn't even uploaded anything in nearly a year on their channel, what makes you think he's sane enough to be any kind of honest and about the facts? Also, according to his logic before his rules for the bullshit where someone steals something from him, but yet they can't own a mechanic when it comes to them accusing him of stealing from them? Yeah, I know it's confusing. Well, Mr. Honesty and Facts technically stole this from PokeTips.
Right after my video, actually my series of videos talking about getting level 100s, he has this. Can you level from 1 to 100 in 10 minutes in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee?
Oh my god, PokeTips talked about leveling up Pokemon, even though he put out his leveling up guide before I put out mine. He must be copying me! The video that he's trying to claim that I stole from him is a challenge video, seeing how fast I can get my Pokemon from 1 to 100 in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I have literally known how good Chansey was for leveling up since the game came out, and I put my video out on YouTube a few days after. I have known about all the capture multipliers and everything, and there's evidence of that on YouTube, so I don't understand how you can possibly think that I stole anything from you. And unless Verlisify puts me in his video to try to get more views, I do not watch his content.
For those who actually give a shit, the links to these videos will be in this video's description. PokeTips put out this leveling guide with Chansey a day before Mr. Honesty and Facts put out the same guide. So even though no one owns a game mechanic, well, by this logic, he stole this guide from PokeTips. This is what it's really about. He once again shoots himself in the foot by admitting the real problem once he pours out his self-loathing emotions in his shit posts, or when he once again needs to appeal to his brain-dead NPCs in the comments. You can't steal a fucking thing you don't even own? What happened is that from the very beginning, Mr. Honesty and Facts here put out a guide that did very well, by the way. I don't see what's the problem here. But the other PokeTubers then dared to upstage Mr. One Above All in the Pokemon community here, and they ended up getting more views and impressions. Nothing was ever stolen here. You just got a self-entitled crybully that can't handle the fact that he makes garbage grade content compared to other PokeTubers, and the views and impressions showed that. So of course it's going to be piss easy to character assassinate to make it look like they did something wrong because they didn't get your permission to put out the same content anyone's free to put out and look up on the internet for views. Let's not act like you all aren't parrots parroting relayed information you could never find on your own. That's the nearly 4-year-old rent-free thing Mr. Honesty and Facts here has going on with PokeTips. Mr. Honesty and Facts' victim complex is always going to be the biggest mystery no one can solve. Despite all of his manipulative bullshit, it ends up biting him in the ass in the end because people can see right through his bullshit. The bad acting, the false prophecies, the false ideologies, and the brain-dead NPCs that will always be the only ones stupid enough to be groomed by his conniving bullshit. It looks like someone else needs to take a holiday from their platform. It's not like there's anything of value for him to retain.